Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your daily forecast for the day of Monday, November 6th, 2017. Now, what is going on today? Maybe I'll just catch you up a little bit because I know I haven't talked to y'all in a while and it's hard to give you a forecast when I haven't really told you what's been going on lately, but I'm going to start with the full moon since we just had that a few days ago right here in Taurus going on. And what that full moon to me was all about was really about us trying to get right with ourselves and who we are and what we want and need inside us in some way to feel comfortable as an individual with everything that we have. Okay, Taurus rules possessions, it rules your money, your income, your gifts and talents. That's what goes on there. It rules everything you have, you own, that you can call yours. You know, it's like when a child is growing up and a child said, that's mine, this is mine, and that's yours. That's Taurus coming in here saying those things. And I think that's what we're trying to figure out at the full moon is what is mine? How can I feel comfortable with me, with mine, with everything that I have? Because at 2 weeks in the new moon, when the new moon's over here in Scorpio, it's going to be all about other people and them and theirs and getting messy with other people and dealing with relationship stuff and making some big changes, messy changes in life as well that it is that you need to make. All right, and so I think what we're trying to figure out at the full moon the past few days is how we can take care of ourselves and everything that we need and find the stability and find the security that we need in life before we start to do all these crazy changes, things with other people that may be a little bit uncomfortable. All right, so that's to me what the full moon really was all about. Now, we're coming off the full moon, okay, with the moon obviously here in Gemini today, and yesterday is when it moved into Gemini. So I think we're thinking about all of this stuff that we need to be ourselves and to feel comfortable with ourselves before we move forward on some other things here. And I think we're still trying to work some of the kinks out, still trying to figure out what is going on with us, to make sense of some things in our life, to gather more information, to figure out what we need to be more comfortable with ourselves before it is that we can move forward with the moon here in Gemini. Okay, moon in Gemini is typically a lot lighter than Taurus for sure, a lot more playful, a lot happier in a lot of ways, a lot more wistful going on. So I don't think that it's as serious perhaps as it was in Taurus, as earthy or as grounded in some ways too going on here as we try to figure some things out. This Gemini moon though, even though Gemini moons are playful and are excitable in a lot of ways, I also do think that this moon, this Gemini moon, is going to be a little bit different than normal. So as we're trying to maybe make sense of what's going on here and communicate about some of the things that came to us at the full moon about ourselves, about things that we need to feel comfortable. I think a big thing that's coming in here, especially with Mercury and Sagittarius, which just moved in there, is a big philosophical bent too. So it's not just enough to know what you need, okay, and to feel comfortable with yourself, but we're trying to make sense of it and work out some kinks and figure out what it all means and where life is going and put all the pieces together of the puzzle. Okay, especially with Mercury here in Sagittarius. Now, a note on that is that Mercury doesn't like being in Sagittarius, okay? Planets do not like being in the opposite sign of their home sign, okay? And since Mercury is at home in Gemini, it does not like being in Sagittarius, all right? Mercury is also at home in Virgo here, so it does not like being in Pisces. So I think you need to keep this stuff in mind. And Mercury here, which is, you know, Gemini's ruler in Sagittarius, makes communication a lot different than it would be. Sagittarius likes to make sense of things. It likes to, it's the planet, it's the sign of religion and of your beliefs, okay? And so Sagittarius wants to figure out where everything is going and what it all means, as to where Geminis could care less. Like, Geminis just like to talk about interesting things and interesting ideas, you know? And so I think that's what we're doing here with our life, is a little bit deeper, a little more intense, a little more philosophical after the full moon, trying to figure out what we need in life to feel better before we start making some big changes in our life and transforming and working with other people in relationships. Okay, now this moon, I'm going to clear the chart. What it's doing today as it's hanging out there is it's making a square over here to Neptune. All right, very early in the morning, coming off of yesterday a little bit. really making us more spiritual too, and internal and introspective, trying to figure out what's going on inside us, and what do we want inside us, and what do we need internally, and what do we need and spiritually, in order to feel more comfortable moving forward, in order to understand our life better, and in order to put it in the right perspective, which is what the Gemini moon thing is here to me. Also communicating and thinking a lot about what is going on. All right, Neptune can bring confusion, so sometimes the things that we're thinking about today, that about our life, about what we need to feel better, could be a little bit confusing. It could be a little bit uncertain, because some of the stuff that's going on is so deep and is so hidden and is so hard to communicate about, that it makes it really difficult for us as well to understand, which is what brings the confusion. But needing to sit with some confusion and some maybe uncomfortable feelings you have about your life in order it is to understand them. And I think if you can go deep and try to make sense of what's going on within you and what you feel and what you need to feel more comfortable and at peace with life, I think it's really going to help you here with the sextile to the North Node coming in at 7 a.m. pretty early, to open up some doors here to do the Leo thing, to be more happy in life and to show your heart and to put yourself out there, but really first needing to get right with yourself and to make sure that that is okay before you can start to feel lighter and happier again. Okay, so I think that's what we're doing for most of the day, since at 7 a.m. the moon makes the sextile to the North Node and then kind of just hangs until 7 o'clock at night. Okay, and because of that, I think we're really just trying to figure out most of the day how to get right with ourselves, how to understand ourselves and what it is that we need, and make sense of some things that have been going on lately, so that we can start to open up some doors for us and be happier. All right, now when we get to the nighttime, again, 7 p.m., the moon here is also going to come back into some hard aspects. So it's like we take a break from things, feel like we're catching our breath, like we can understand stuff, and then we get some hard things again coming in, some roadblocks, feeling a little bit more uncomfortable with our feelings, with what is going on inside us with the moon squaring Chiron. Okay, as we're trying to communicate with people, and as we're trying to talk to people, and as we are trying to think about our life. I think a lot of this stuff that's uncomfortable for us here, that we're thinking about and that we're communicating about, especially at nighttime, as things start to pick up again, has to do here where Saturn is, because this moon's going to oppose Saturn, and of course the moon's currently in Saturn is currently in a square to Chiron. So I think this communication that we want to do, mostly communication that's happening within us or about things going on inside us, is hard because we know there's some new thing we need to do, or that we're trying to do, or some new journey, and we're trying to find the passion in life and be excited once again, but we're feeling uncomfortable and we're feeling not right and we're feeling hurt here with Chiron and Pisces as we're trying to communicate about what we want to do and about where life is going, as we're trying to think about it. And I think really having to sit with some uncomfortable feelings here and beat and fight these uncomfortable feelings away, you know, so that we can begin to move forward, that could be a little bit uncomfortable. All right, but if you can beat these hard feelings, and if you can sit with some of these hard feelings that you have about your life and about the way that you're thinking about your life, and really try to overcome them, I think there is an opportunity to start to get insights a little bit later towards the end of the night, around 9 o'clock Mountain Time here, to figure out what it is that you want and need here with the moon making a sextile to Uranus, to be more free and more comfortable with life, to express yourself more openly and more authentically. I think that's going to be a big thing that's going to happen. And then the moon as well going to trine Venus too before bedtime, saying if you can sit with some of these hard feelings and overcome some things that are holding you back, and pay attention to what's happening inside you and spiritually with you, and if you can make sense of it and put it in the right perspective and get the right beliefs about it, not only is it going to help you to feel more free and to feel more, you know, comfortable to express yourself in some ways, but it's also going to help you to work with other people to better understand what it is that is going on inside you and what it is that you need. All right, so I think that is what is going to happen. I think it does end on a good note the night, even though we do have a rough patch coming in around 7 o'clock Mountain Time at night. Okay, but I think after that it gets better. So just sitting through some of the hard stuff to move forward. All right, now I know that can be a little hard. I mean, it's been hard for me here because of the Saturn Chiron square, which I did just talk about. Saturn here is in a square with Chiron. So I think as we're dealing with some of this stuff, trying to communicate about our life and think about our life, we have lots of commitments we need to make, lots of new things we're doing that are feeling uncomfortable, that we're trying to work out, we're trying to break free from here. I think that's what's on our mind, how to overcome some hard things so we can do things that are really important to us, move in the direction that we need, and unlock some doors for us that are coming. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, but I think there is lots of potential here, and I think we have lots of hard feelings and hurt feelings that we need to get over so that we can do the things that we need to do and that we know are good for us and we know we need to do, and move in the right direction. Okay, so I see that coming in here. The sun also in a sextile with Pluto today, or coming close to it, saying if you can focus on some changes that it is that you need to make, even though we're not quite making the changes yet. The new moon hasn't happened, and it's going to happen in 2 weeks. But if you can start to think about some changes you need to make, and if you can start to deal with some of your emotional stuff going on while you're also trying to get right with yourself, that it's going to help you here to move your life in the right direction and to do what it is that you really need to do in life. And I think we're just trying to work all of that stuff out and work it all together and feel comfortable with who we are and what we need and what's going on with us, while at the same time not forgetting our other commitments, not forgetting other things we have to do, not forgetting our journey and where our life is going, and some things that we need to do, that we're about to do but that we aren't there yet. I think we're just trying to balance all of that and to make sure we're okay before we move forward. Okay, another thing I want to mention is Venus here at the last degree of Libra too. So I think we're really trying to work with our relationships, to understand our relationships, to get our relationships in order so that we can start going deeper with relationships, uncovering some things with relationships, maybe starting to get messy a little bit emotionally as we move forward with people coming in. Now I think it's going to be interesting as we're moving forward about what is happening here. All right, because we're about to have 3 planets in places they don't like to be in and positions they don't want to be. I mentioned Mercury earlier in this horoscope, and Sagittarius, it does not like to be there. Okay, communication is less precise in Mercury, and it's more about your beliefs. It wants to make sense of things. So there's that coming up. That could be a little bit hard. We also do have Mars currently in Libra, where it does not like to be. Again, these are all planets opposite their home sign. Okay, Mars's home sign is in Aries. It's in Libra. Also there, making relationships a little bit hard, especially once Venus leaves. Okay, making relationships, people a little pushy in relationships, people a little aggressive in relationships, a little frustrated that other people or that their life isn't going in the direction or as quickly as they want to go. So I think there's that coming up. And then Venus as well, as I said, when it moves into Scorpio, also going to be in a bad position because Venus likes Taurus. Scorpio is opposite Taurus. So you've got 3 planets here. Look at these, all in their opposite sign. And when planets are in their opposite sign, they don't function quite right. They're slow, they're uncomfortable, they don't know what they're doing, it's hard. And so I think we're about to come into a time here where it's saying, you know what, we want to move forward, we want to make some things done, we want everything maybe to be right and to be in their proper place, but wires are getting mixed, wires are getting crossed, we're having to figure some things out here, things are getting a little messy, we're not functioning the same way we're used to functioning. And I think that's what we're trying to figure out now, is how can we prepare to deal with all of this stuff that's coming to us, especially at the new moon. Some big changes we need to make, some big relationship stuff maybe we have to get messy in, and how we can maybe do it in a different way, flex different muscles as we go about doing that. And I think that can be a little bit hard for some people. It's been hard for me to look at life in a different perspective, to do life in a different way, so that I can feel better. And I think if you're trying to do life the way you've always done it, assuming that you're functioning 100%, all functions go, I think it's going to be really hard. And you need to realize that things are maybe not as they were before, not functioning quite in the same way, and that you need to allow yourself to make mistakes, to act a little bit differently than maybe you have, so that you can accomplish some of the goals that you need to accomplish and do some of the things that you need to do. Okay, and Venus here doesn't like being in Scorpio, because Scorpio gets deep with feelings and very intense, and Venus doesn't like to be intense. Venus likes to be stable and secure in Taurus. So I think we're going to have to deal with some really strong feelings coming up here, okay? And maybe being frustrated about relationships not going the way that we want while we're trying to make sense of our life. And I think we need to get ourselves in order now before all this stuff hits us, where it's like, okay, we're out of our comfort zone, a lot coming up, what do we do now? And I think if you prepare now for all of that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to deal with. And it could actually be a lot better for some people to take a different seat and a different perspective on life as we get everything in order. Okay, the new moon here in Scorpio too, I think is really going to help us to get on board with some of these deep feelings that it is that we've had. All right, we've had a bunch of planets coming through Scorpio here, especially with Jupiter. I think Jupiter's been the one throwing the wrench in things, making things feel very different than they normally have here. And I think it could be a little hard for us to have gotten on board with the Scorpio thing, to feeling comfortable going deep and dealing some other parts of our life that are very intense. And I think the new moon here for the first new moon, since Jupiter has been in there, is going to say, you know what, time to get on board with where life is going, even if it's messy, even if you're making some changes, even if it's a lot going on, time to just go with the flow and to do it and to make it happen. Okay, and to feel much better about it. All right, so that's what I think is going on there for you. Your card for the day is the World upright. This is a great card. This is actually a card of feeling like you're in the right place at the right time, of feeling like you've completed some long journey, something it is that you need to complete, that you wanted to complete, so that it is that you can move forward into the next level of life. And I think just feeling like you've manifested what it is that you need to manifest. It's a really great card going on here today, and I think that's what's coming in. If you allow yourself to make sense of your life and to go deep and to figure out what's happening with you internally here, and to push past some things that are uncomfortable, I think you're going to be able to do that today. I think you're going to be able to find the silver lining and some good things coming in for you that you can have to put your life in a better spot. Okay, so that's what I've got for you today. Sorry if that was a little long. Feels weird not talking to you in a while. I'm so sorry about that. Maybe I'll give you a little update a little bit later once I'm just feeling better emotionally. All right, but that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. I hope you liked it. If you do, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.